Welcome to Barley and Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. This is episode 93, recorded at the Art of Beer 2019 at the McClellan Conference Center. This episode will feature 3 different segments. Segment 1 is going to be Daniel Barnes, a beer reviewer for the Sacramento News and Review, who also has a movie podcast called Dare Daniel you should absolutely check out. We're going to talk about movies and beer and chicken wing eating and all kinds of fun stuff. And then on segment 2, we've got Johnny Flores from Serious Talk Seriously. You probably met him during our last Christmas episode, and he's been on a previous one as well. We're going to talk pretty much the art and science of podcasts and a little bit about beer here and there. And then in segment 3, we've got Nick Vellanoweth from Nitty, Cider, and also a special appearance by Duncan Alexander from Burning Barrel. We're going to get into starting up your own business, the regulations and stuff you got to be aware of, and, you know, the difference between cider, wine, and beer, amongst other things. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I can't wait for Art of Beer 2019. Welcome to Barley and Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. We're here at the Art of Beer 2019. With us today, we got beer reviewer and the host of the Dare Daniel podcast, Daniel Barnes.
Co-host. I don't want to leave my co-host, Corky McDonald, out of this
Corky
equation.
O'Connell
Corky O'Connell. Let's just go with O'Connell.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I know it's McDonald, but like if somebody like point blank said, "What's Corky's last name?" Like O'Connell.
O'Connell's fine. Honestly,
right.
He's not a
right.
stickler. He's not a stickler for those kind of things.
I'm just trying to make it seem like you're more important. I mean, it's called Dare Daniel.
Yeah,
it's not called Dare Daniel and Corky.
that's true. I am far more important. Just judging by the title of the podcast,
right.
I am far elevated above Corky.
Let me just say this: co-host and mastermind,
yes,
of the Dare Daniel podcast,
the titular,
yeah, the titular character,
Daniel of Dare Daniel.
Yeah. What even is that?
What is Dare Daniel? Dare Daniel is a podcast where our listeners, there's no viewers because this is a podcast.
Well, you guys have Facebook Live though.
Yeah, Johnny shoots that.
Yeah.
But let's be true to the medium. It is a podcast where our listeners dare us to watch the worst movies they can possibly imagine, and we watch them and we review them in the most excruciating level of detail that is imaginable.
And I will point out, we talked about this. I did the Jay Leno movie. What is it?
Collision Course? Was that
Collision
you?
Course, yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I listened. I didn't submit it to you.
Okay.
But I did, okay. After listening to the episode, I was like, this sounds an awful lot like Rush Hour done poorly. It sounds exactly like Rush Hour, but done poorly. But I also played your podcast at 50% speed.
Okay.
At half speed.
That's the way to listen.
And it lined up like that's how detailed you were at breaking it down. It's a 1-to-2 ratio.
Wow.
Of like, I'm like,
so it's like a Wizard of Oz, Dark Side of the Moon like, kind of thing. Like just play them together, and all will be revealed.
Like if you played your riffs at Black Sabbath speed instead of this rapid fire repartee you have, Absolutely. It would line up perfectly.
I'll just slow it
with
down.
That movie.
Slow it down hard.
It was insane. Okay, I'm gonna just admit right now.
Okay.
I did not finish Collision Course. Didn't make it through.
Why would you?
But until I stopped, it was lining up perfectly.
Yeah. And if you had continued, that would
have matched.
It would have crescendoed
note for note
in a way that I cannot reveal to any of your listeners right now. They'll have to do it for themselves.
But
Listen to Collision Course.
I heard, did not see that the ending is, some would say beautiful.
I would not say beautiful. No.
I mean, I'm only imagining with
What's
your
the
words.
opposite of beautiful? Ugly?
The way your
I would
words
say
described
ugly.
it made it seem like it was magical. It was a magical ending.
It was a split-screen freeze frame, which I don't think I've ever seen before. In the 80s and early 90s, split screen was a thing.
Yep.
Freeze frame endings was a thing. Breakfast Club, for example. Absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen a split screen freeze frame ending until Collision Course. Yeah, that is possibly unique in world cinema history.
I mean, I understand that the level of physics involved in this film took so much.
Yeah.
Just, I thought I knew science.
No, you don't.
And it turns out I was completely wrong.
You're absolutely wrong.
You can maintain your momentum through a thick sheet of glass.
Certainly.
And then maintain the strength in your ankle to explode ahead. Is that correct?
You can, if you are very determined,
and you split
and you're in the right frame of mind, you can leap through a window and decapitate someone with your foot. Absolutely. All the karate masters will tell you this.
Yeah.
All the top karate masters.
Yeah, there's like a couple levels of karate. There's breaking 3 pieces of wood with a karate chop.
Sure. Absolutely.
We all know that one.
Yeah.
We've seen it. 3, sometimes 5. There's the crane kick to the jaw that makes you drop on the floor.
Yeah.
And there's decapitating someone after jumping through a piece of glass.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all
Combine
know
all those together and you've got it.
It's the 3 rules of karate.
This is we've just described the plot to Ip Man right now. It's
Do you hate Ip Man?
I love Ip Man.
It's so good.
It's fantastic. All 3 Ip Man.
Are they? I refuse to watch the sequels because the first one's
trilogy.
so good.
Ip Man trilogy.
Because the first one's so good, I'm like, it can't live up. Does it live up?
Lives up.
It lives up.
Absolutely, it lives up.
All right, like I have no plans later, so that's probably what I'll do.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you get a can of beer where I have this little glass?
Yeah, this little.
What's in your little glass? You got a fucking 16-ounce can of glass? Fucking beer. What is in my? That's actually a good question because I'm not. We're recording this very late in the beer
it's
festival.
Not really though.
Let me. This is
my first recording of the day.
Hang on.
It's clearly a light lager.
Oh, this is they just did a special pour. This is the high water aphotic.
Oh yeah, the porter
with cacao nibs and some extra shit in there as well.
How is it?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
fantastic. All the beer here is fantastic.
It's so good.
It's fantastic.
I just had the Wicked Whisper from Moonraker.
Oh,
delicious.
Wicked Whisper. What the fuck? Is that just another? That was not there when I was there last time.
They have that and the maple version of it.
Motherfuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing here?
But the important question, how did I get a 16-ounce can?
That's a great question.
Years ago, I've been doing this podcast for 3 years. This my history with Sudwork goes back probably 8, because I once competed in a hot wing eating competition.
Okay.
Sponsored by Sudwork at Flaming Grill Cafe's original location on El Camino and Bell.
Yeah.
And no big deal. I won.
That sounds like a big deal.
I won.
You're saying it in a way that makes me think it's a big deal.
It wasn't close.
Wasn't even close.
Wasn't close.
Wasn't close.
And they don't do eat 12 or like how many can you eat in 5 minutes. Like you eat 12 of our hottest hot wings. Plus we drizzle it with like sauce, and then there's like roasted jalapenos and habaneros around it.
Okay.
You should eat all those too. And then you cannot touch water, milk, ice cream, which are sitting right there, for 2 minutes once you're done.
That's one of those competitions.
Until you're done.
Yeah.
2 minutes, you have to just suffer.
Just sit there thinking about it.
Suffer through it.
Yeah.
And so I won that. So Sudwork had a rep on who could not handle the heat.
Uh-huh.
He got out of the kitchen. He definitely got out of the kitchen. He ended up taking his shirt off. He was so hot from eating these wings. Because they were like,
oh my God.
They were put in this habanero sauce for 3 days, brined in it. And then so I met him that way, and so every time I go to Sudwork, we're like, hey, how's it going? I've known that guy for 8 years.
You're a hot wing guy.
And so he's like, hey, I'm gonna are you gonna be podcasting?
I'm gonna
be podcasting. And so I came into the room to this beer.
So that's a respect beer right there.
This is
I respect how well you can handle habanero hot wings.
Game for sure. And then they had a champions round where they did this once a month. They did this contest for once a month, for 6 months, and they had the champions of champions, and I got smoked.
Oh,
this dude! I picked up because they did a even more brine, slicker, and longer time. And I picked up my first wing, and it slipped out of my hands. I was like, "Well, I lost. I've lost. This thing. I can't even pick up these wings." But which is nice because now I get to enjoy these beautiful hot wings. I'm like, this is actually a win for me. I get to take my time and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
But the guy who won went blind for 2 minutes.
Literally went blind.
Literally went blind from the heat for 2 minutes. That's how hot these wings were. His friend had to bring him across the street to go grab a gallon of milk. Because here's a little tiny
help him.
They give you here's a ketchup thing. That little tiny thing. They're that's how much ice cream you get to deal with the heat you just dealt with.
Right.
And in that one, I think it was you have to wait 3 minutes before you can do anything.
Oh, jeez.
And so he couldn't find the milk because he had gone blind.
Literally gone blind.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
But I enjoyed some very nice hot wings that day.
Well, there you go.
But I was nowhere near the running.
Not in a hurry or anything like that. You could take your time and really savor it a little bit.
By the time I was able to grip the first wing, I'm they're already done with 3. This is just me.
That's it.
Like, I also did a hot dog eating contest in Maine at a Portland Sea Dogs game. Pre-game, like, entertainment. It's minor league baseball. They got to have entertainment. And so they had, like, a hot dog eating contest, and my cousin was working for me at the time. So, like, hey, you should do this thing. And so I'm, like, back in the back of the stadium, and there's one guy who's getting out of the hot dog contest game, There's an old dog getting out of it. And then there's one guy like, I'm trying to get my way into the hot dog eating game. And I'm like, and then there's me.
Who you were not in the game.
I'm like, I'm known to eat a lot of food.
You're just a big guy.
I'm good at eating food.
You're just a chow hound.
And so, like, I tried to stay with, I think I stayed with him like 2 hot dogs. I'm like, they're dunking the thing in water, like the bun in water.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Gross.
No.
I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah. You want to actually, you like eating, right?
But here's what I did. I just casually ate a delicious hot dog dinner. Just like, and I was like, I played up the crowd, I let them know who was winning because you can't tell. There's only one camera.
Right.
3 people. So I'm just walking around like, what do you got? What do you got? Playing it up, because I'm a professional.
You're not a professional, or you would have won that shit.
I kick back, hands behind the heads, like, yeah.
You're just like, digging it. That's cool.
You ever do any competitive eating?
I have not done any competitive eating. I feel like the kind of competitive eating I would excel at is not a competitive eating sport that exists. I'm the kind of guy, like, I can't eat like 10 plates of a thing, but I will eat 2 to 3 plates of a thing faster than anyone. It's like if there was an event like the 30-yard dash.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or the
shuttle run.
The 12th marathon. Not a half marathon, but a 12th marathon.
1/12 of a marathon.
I would crush that. A short burst of eating, absolutely. I will destroy anybody. But that's not a real thing.
I feel like that's kind of what every eating company does. Nobody's like, we're going to eat a 12-course meal.
No, but that's just like, I'll eat 4 hot dogs faster than anyone else. I can't eat 40 hot dogs.
Yeah,
that's not a thing.
It's not.
That's not. I'm not going to do that.
Fine for that.
Yeah. But it's that small bits. I'll eat faster than anybody else.
Let me ask you this, Daniel.
Yo.
How big is your family?
How big is my family?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like when you grew up, was there a fight for the food, or was it like?
I will say I was the middle child.
Okay.
Older brother, younger sister.
Okay.
And so I was guaranteed nothing.
Okay.
So I had to elbow my way, and I'm always the first in line. If there's a food option available, I'm going to jump to the first in line because I cannot be confident that I'm going to get my share.
Because there's 2 competitors plus parents.
Exactly.
Let me just.
I've been a competitive eater my entire life.
I'm not a one-upper, but I was fighting with 8 people for food.
I
got in it.
I get it.
In it to win it every time.
I get it.
Like, you want seconds, you better be first at first. And I'm like, I'm going for seconds and thirds.
Exactly.
So I'm in it. Like, one time I spent the night at my friend's house, and they had lasagna, my favorite dish.
Sure.
Favorite dish. I did not get to eat it. I was spending the night at my friend's house. So I came home the next morning to find out they had lasagna.
Oh, my.
But it was breakfast time. So what I casually did, ate a box of Golden Grams.
Okay.
Then cleaned out that half lasagna that I didn't eat the night before. I'm like, why am I fat? It doesn't make any sense.
That's ridiculous.
This is just what I did when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm fat now. I was skinny
insane.
till I was like 23. Don't make no sense that I'm fat now. My eating habits have not changed. Like, if you watch me, I'll put it down.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It's not even close.
Absolutely. No, I am always the first to clean my plate.
Yeah.
In any gathering, I'm the first.
I feel like I'd take you down with like no effort.
No effort.
I feel like I would win it without even a glance.
I'm not going to say you wouldn't win. I'm going to say it would take effort.
I don't think it would.
It would take effort. It would take effort. My gullet.
This is how we're going to do it.
My gullet. It can fit a lot.
I don't think you understand. 8 people I was fighting against.
No, I get it.
And I was getting fourths while they were trying to finish firsts.
I get it.
It has not changed.
No. And like I'm saying, I would cede it to you, but I think you would break a sweat. I think you would break a sweat.
That's just because I'm fat. Like, that's not really because I'm working.
You just sweat while eating.
I just sweat. Like, dude, I won that wing eating contest, a hot wing eating contest, but like now I can't handle heat at all. Like, I sweat if we start talking about heat.
Right.
Like, you give me a soup that's been boiled.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoo.
I will say my wife is constantly impressed by my ability to eat wings and to essentially take a single wing, put it in my mouth, and pull it out with a clean bone, like in a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Nice. That is pretty impressive. Yeah, there's a technique to eating the wings. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
That's what held me back in that championship.
Absolutely.
Is I didn't have good technique.
It's all about the technique.
You know, I feel like we've been talking about wing eating and eating and your movie podcast.
Sure.
But you're also like a beer journalist.
I'm also a beer geek. Absolutely.
And you've got the His and Hers beers and all that
His and Hers
stuff.
beer notes. I've done many. I've written for the Bee. I've written for Comstock, Sac Mag, News and Review. Pretty much every local publication I've written about craft beer, and just about every brewery as well.
Yeah.
What
How'd you
was your
get into
point?
that? How'd you fall into that?
How did I get into that? Honestly, it was just me and my wife going to breweries and just getting into beer and liking it and talking about it together. And then we started the blog, and it kind of grew from there. And I've been a freelance writer for a long time, and so was able to get a lot of freelance gigs off of writing about beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got mine from people tolerating me at breweries.
I've talked to them. They don't really tolerate you.
It's a strong word I used. I'm sorry about it.
It's very strong.
Yeah,
honestly.
Most people would say, "Oh, breweries like me." I'm like, they put up with it.
Yeah, put up with.
Yeah,
put up with.
That's really as strong as I can go
tolerate
on it.
Tolerate. That's way too strong.
Well, that guy's here.
There he is.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk.
Well, you've championed yourself as such a great eater. They're a little terrified of you coming in. They're like, is this guy going to just come in here and just suck all the beer right out of the tap directly? Or what's going to happen?
I'm not a strong drinker. The more I get into beer, the less I drink. It's very strange. Are you
Is
doing
that really?
that?
No.
Really?
Quite the opposite.
Oh, I am terrible at it now. Like, this event is going to be very bad for me.
Really?
This is probably more than I've drunk in probably months.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm quite the recreational drinker as well.
Oh, and you also bring a beer every time you're on the Dare Daniel podcast?
Bring a new beer on the Dare Daniel podcast. It's pretty much always a local beer. Sometimes it'll be something like a revision or a field work or a little something out of the
local.
second. Yeah, exactly. But
semi-local.
Modern Times maybe would be the most unlocal thing that I've brought to date. But it's usually a New Glory or a Moonraker or a Moxa or whatever I've had that week. Honestly, it's mostly New Glory because they do can releases on Friday and we record on Sunday, and so there you go. It's that simple.
Yeah, nice. All right, anything you want people to know before we go?
Yeah, hit us up at daredaniel.com. That's where you can read all my movie reviews and where you can get links to all of our episodes, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Dare Daniel Pod. And just hit us up, dare us a movie, or listen to the podcast and let us know what you think. It's a fun show, and we enjoy it, and we goof around a lot, and I think people will enjoy it.
Yeah, and mostly listen for Corky McConnell.
Yeah, mostly. Don't listen for me. If anything, I've probably talked you out of it. But Corky McDonald is a very funny comedian as well. I'm not a comedian. I'm just a beer geek and a writer, so I'm very academic and quite boring.
No,
but Corky's very entertaining.
You guys have a really great repartee. I really enjoy listening
to
you guys talk.
We've known each other since like the second grade or something like that. Yeah,
we were in
second grade together. We've known each other absolutely forever. So it's old hat at this point.
Okay, yeah, and you can tell because it's like so quick. Back and forth. It's super fun. I really enjoy that podcast.
Awesome.
Even though you never listen, you never watch my movies. It's fine.
Well, one of these days we will. Just dare us something good.
I have, right. I feel like I've got some. I just never write them when I'm like, oh, I should really I'm listening to it, but I'm driving, so I can't.
Honestly, you dare us to watch Warcraft, and that would have been fantastic. As it happened, I had an HBO preview at that time, so I'd already watched Warcraft literally the week before you dared us to watch that.
So you already knew.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
It's so
fucking
bad.
Awful. It's so insane how bad it is.
I hate it.
I saw like 10 seconds of it because it's on FX or TNT or something like that.
Why would you ever give that guy? Hey, let's do special effects. He's a practical effects guy. Did you watch Source Code at all?
I've seen Source Code. I've seen Moon. Yeah, those are solid films.
Moon is a great movie. It's
Absolutely.
one of my favorite movies of the 21st century. Great film. But Source Code, there's like the explosion over and over again where the train explodes, and it looks like complete garbage.
Yeah.
And that's the only special effect he's ever worked with.
Right.
Like, you know what we should do? Do an entire movie.
Do a whole movie that's just mocap.
Even though he's clearly great at real effects.
Yeah.
Like where he's like to scale models. He's absolutely great at that. We should definitely give him an entire movie of the thing he's clearly bad at.
Yeah, Warcraft especially. And
it's so bad.
It's right in that wheelhouse of movies based on video games that are designed to satisfy absolutely no one.
Yeah. Hey, we need to get people that don't know what we're talking about in here.
Yeah.
Oh, you've lost. You've lost.
You've lost, but then you've also lost the people. You've lost the core fans, but then you haven't gained anybody else either.
Because they're still confused because there's so much.
Yeah.
It's so dense.
It's basically the game, but you just changed the names. You changed everything we care about. So, it's
awful.
Warcraft, terrible film. When is this going to run?
Probably next week and a half.
Next week and a half. So coming up on the Dare Daniel podcast, we should, by the time this comes out, we just did our Gotti review.
Oh, yeah.
That's John Travolta as Gotti. That's a horrible movie. We have Heart Condition coming up. That's a film.
What is that?
From the late 80s, early 90s, starring Denzel Washington and Bob Hoskins.
Okay.
Which you think...
That sounds great.
Those are two of the finest actors of all time. Only... Denzel Washington plays a lawyer who is murdered and comes back as a ghost to haunt Bob Hoskins, who is the racist cop.
Okay.
Who absolutely despises Denzel
So
Washington.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Pelican Brief.
Yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Sure.
And Ghost.
Yeah.
In one movie?
Only crazy racist.
I already said Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This sounds like a winner.
It's a real... It's a film that was shot on film and released into theaters. Winner? No, not a winner.
Okay.
Loser.
Yeah.
But we are also loser because we watched it. We watched the entire thing, and then we are going to review it in an absurd level of spoiler-ready detail.
Yeah. You know, what I'm thinking right now, Michael Crichton... His movies always come across great on film, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen Extreme Measures?
Sure.
With Gene Hackman and Keanu Reeves? I think that's who's in it.
Oh. Hugh Grant.
Is it?
Extreme Measures? Yeah, Hugh Grant.
Is it Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
Instead of Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
But it's Gene
Hackman. Yeah.
Okay. Awful. And Michael Crichton movies usually come out pretty good.
Right.
I was going to... It's just a verbal...
well, what about Disclosure? Have you ever seen Disclosure?
I have seen Disclosure. Yeah. I can't even keep up with it. It's so ludicrous.
It's insane.
First of all, I don't care.
Well, it's
second of all, it's
that amazing mid-90s idea of what the internet is.
You know what I love about the 90s is... I know we're wrapping
Candlebox.
up. I know we're Yes, Candlebox also.
And what else?
You know, I was almost in a band with a former Candlebox member.
No kidding.
I tried out for him for vocals. No big deal. It was...
that it really isn't.
Yeah, Tenfold's bassist and then Candlebox's guitarist. Anyway...
That's the
didn't make it. Whatever. A lot of messages exchanged. Didn't happen.
Oh man.
Back in when I was 20, I was like, I'm gonna be a rock star.
Oh yeah. How long ago was that?
16 years ago.
So you're 36.
8. Yeah, 36. Sure. I was 20 then, so math.
Math.
Yeah. I forgot where I was going with this. It was very important, but I feel like
something about Candlebox.
What's that?
Candlebox sent you a message, and
it had nothing to do with Candlebox.
It had nothing to do with Candlebox.
Candlebox threw me off. Oh, here's what I love about 90s movies: is it was before the internet or when the internet just started.
Why is my thing so much lower than your thing?
I'm taller than you.
That's not it.
You can adjust it accordingly. I mean, I adjust mine to me because I know where I'm at.
Feeling.
So. Here's the thing about 90s movies that I hate.
Yeah.
It's before the internet, so people had nothing better to do. So there's so much exposition that doesn't need to be there. There's every movie's 40 minutes longer than it needs to be because they're like, where are you going to go?
It's the 90s.
Yeah. What do you got going on?
You barely even got the internet.
Date night's the movies.
Yeah.
So this is 3 hours.
This is all you got.
Yeah.
You gonna watch the OJ chase again?
Like, have you watched Basic Instinct in the last 10 years?
Yeah, I love Basic Instinct.
Do you feel like there's like 3 scenes that are like don't need to be there for any reason at all?
Probably.
And they're just talking. And I'm like, we already know this. And they're like, well, yeah, but you've been here for 2 hours, so we got to remind you. It's like, but we're only here for 2 hours because you refused to cut anything.
We're bringing it back.
Oh, it's so terrible. So I'm glad that you guys are dealing with that garbage.
I love Basic Instinct, though.
It's a great movie. But
Paul Verhoeven is one of my heroes.
Yeah, he's super good. But there are like 3 or 4 scenes like this is just repeating what I already know.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's like 12 minutes of them just talking in an apartment. Like, you can leave. This didn't need to be here. There could be like, you following through on leads. You could be unraveling this
crazy
deceit.
Theory about Basic Instinct. Michael Douglas is the killer. What do you think of that?
I am on board for it.
Dude. All right, cool.
All right, let's get out of here. Fucking yeah. Daniel Barnes, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Art of Beer, thanks for having us.
Thank you, Art of Beer. Thank you for having us as media. And I didn't get a can like Ben got a can. So next year.
Hey, you. Do you love craft beer? Do you love craft beer brewed and bottled here in Northern California? Well, if you do, we got a magazine for you. ABV Magazine is the only local print publication covering Northern California's amazing craft beer and spirits community. Each issue features behind-the-bottle conversations, reviews, booze-based destinations, and a comprehensive guide to breweries, taprooms, bottle shops, and distilleries in Northern California. You can sign up for only $1 a month and have each issue delivered right to your front door. Check it out at abvmagazine.com. And from all of us here at ABV Magazine, cheers, and thanks for supporting local craft beer. That's abvmagazine.com, alcohol by volume.
Welcome back to Barley and Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. We're still here at the Art of Beer with Johnny Flores of the Serious Talk Seriously podcast.
Modern love, no religion. Modern love, something in the kitchen. Modern love.
If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. I think it's...
I was doing Bowie.
Yeah, here's the thing.
DJ 80s.
DJ 80s. We're gonna go back on that. We're gonna just if you for reference for this podcast, make sure to listen to Serious Talk Seriously's episode from Art of Beer, releasing several months after this one.
Yeah, probably.
And there'll be callbacks. Which I'm revolutioning the game. Call forwards.
Oh, you're doing a call forward.
Yeah. Because we're gonna make the reference here now that won't be understood until you release your episode.
Yeah.
So it's a call forward.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Unlike DJ Magic Mel, that's his name. I think on
Is it Magic
our
Mel?
Little thing I was calling
Magic
him
Skittles.
Magic Skittles.
Yeah. DJ Sour Skittles. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So how was your Art of Beer experience, Johnny?
It was good. I have a good time here every year.
Yeah.
The only thing holding me back is my own age, and that if I drink any amount of beer, I get heartburn from it. So it's my own failing that I couldn't enjoy more of the breweries here.
Yeah,
So.
but they've also pared back the number of breweries to make it a little bit easier for those of an age persuasion that are perhaps not designed for this type of thing any longer.
You're talking about me? And
I think I'm talking about a lot of people.
my fellow AARPers. Arpers.
You're getting close.
Are you kidding, dude?
You're like 10 years away, right?
As soon as I turned, I'll be 44 this year.
Yeah, so 12 years away.
Yeah. And as soon as I hit, as soon as we bought our house, I was already 40. I think 41 when we bought our house. As soon as we bought our house, AARP just swooped on that shit. Yeah. They're like, oh, you're in your 40s and you own a house. You definitely are interested in anything we have to put out. I'm like, no, man, I'm several years away from needing your services.
Almost decades away.
Yeah.
And
at this point, I'm easily 2 decades away from needing your, but they don't care.
Right. It's never too early.
They're seeding
to make the sale.
They're seeding.
Yeah. They just want to be a constant in your life. So it's a natural transition.
Yeah.
To death.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. Oh, man. So
we went dark on when you were on my show for Art of Beer, and now we're going dark on yours.
Are you actually going to bring back Serious Talk Seriously for another season? I know you're always waffling.
Yeah. I'm always waffling. Now I'm on I'm running my own business now, and I have a lot more free time. And my old job was like killing me. Right. So I was just like, I don't want to do any fucking thing. I don't want to do anything. So it just turned me off on the show. So it's a lot of work. And my job was murdering every aspect of my life that brings me joy. So,
and now you're doing Flores podcast consulting.
That's right.
How's that?
Really good.
As a podcaster, how is that going?
It's actually going really well because...
As a podcaster with a career that he doesn't particularly care for, how is that treating you?
It's treating me well.
Do you need any employees? It's just a bunch of questions. These could just be general questions for the public.
Just for the public.
Yeah.
When the job posting goes up on Indeed,
I won't look at it because I don't need to worry about it.
I'll put a star on your application.
Okay.
No, it's really that's one of the things I'm actually having to weigh out is like if I pick up any more people, I'm gonna have to hire somebody.
Right.
And it's like how do you fairly pay? Because I don't want to be an asshole that doesn't
pay
because
you know how it goes.
Yeah, I've been that way.
You've been doing this for years and not getting paid.
Yeah,
and it
sucks.
And
I know how it is when you're starting out in a job. I don't think it's fair to not pay someone a living wage.
Yeah, but it's podcasts. What's a fair wage?
Yeah, I would say minimum $15, $16.
Right.
To start off with, I think is fair.
Right. Because there's some intensive stuff that goes into it, but there's also some very simple things that just take a lot of time to run.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances out.
Yeah. Well, and I have I run several shows now, and we do it professionally. And there's an editorial process, and I have to like bounce ideas off of them. And anybody that works in a field like a graphic design field where the client comes to you with an idea, and your professional experience is like that's not a good idea. So then you have to filter that in a way where it seems like it's their idea, but you're presenting a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Like, I really like what you did. I think this would be like, here's the professional version of what you're thinking of doing.
Yeah.
But it's completely separate, but you have to make it seem like their idea.
Yeah. I helped this one like a year and a half ago. I think I told you about it for like this political firm. And they're like, we want to do it like kind of more like of a story where we intersperse different conversations. I'm like, that's a lot of work. Do you understand? Like you record like 20 hours of audio to splice it down to like 12 people talking about 16 topics and like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
That's kind of a sonic mess.
Yeah.
Even if you could professionally sync it up, that's a lot of threads for an audience to try and in one episode for an audience to follow. That's kind of messy.
And they told me initially, can you kind of make that story? Can you build that story? And I'm like, if I'm charging you by the hour, it's going to cost so much for you to have me do this.
Yeah, then all you do is you go, here's the flat for per episode. It's going to cost you $2,000.
Yeah, because it's so much time to like. Yeah. But I'm like, here's what I'll do. I'll send you the audio. You tell me what you want to use and where. And if you want a musical cue, I'll throw a musical cue.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I did that. I don't like money, Johnny. Let's be very clear.
I would have said, okay, here, if you want, let's say 15 components, that's including music, standard outro, standard intro, transitional music, your different segments. It's going to take me 10, 12 hours to put one episode together. I'm going to charge you $3,000 per episode. And if they really want to do it, they'll be like, cool.
Yeah.
I have clients like that. I'm just like, it's going to be a flat rate of this much for 10 episodes. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. I remember I gave them a quote, and their initial was to balk at it. Like, I don't think I can do that, but I'll run it up the flagpole. And they're like, we'll do it for that price. I'm like, cool. And like, that was like a nice, like, hey, like, I have value here. And I just gotten this new recording device, the Zoom.
Zoom H6.
Zoom H6. I'm not being paid for this promotion. It's the fucking best.
It is. It really is.
I paired it.
You turned me on to one, and I bought it, and I fucking love it.
I can't explain enough how much I love this thing. But I had this. I had just gotten this, and I had my old equipment. So I'm like, I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna put 2 mics in front of everybody that's talking. One going to my old rig, and one going to my current rig, to the Zoom. And it was not even close. It wasn't even close.
Well, see, I still have my Scarlett, and that thing sounds great.
It's so good. But the Zoom's so much better.
But the thing I like about the Zoom H6, now we're getting into some deep podcasting nerd topics here, is its versatility. You don't have to, if you have a desktop computer, you can have the Zoom, go use it remotely, take it back. Connect it to your computer. Whereas before, I had to have my laptop
with you, to
use the Scarlett, which is an audio interface.
Yeah,
and the Zoom is everything in
it's all in one
box, and it's really versatile. So if you're looking into getting into podcasting, I would definitely recommend.
You could do
H6.
dumber things than get the Zoom H6.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Zoom.
You could do. You could spend more money, and if you stick with it, within a few years, you're going to come around to this anyways.
Yeah, exactly. But that Scarlett was great. I love it a whole lot.
I love it. I still have it. It's like a backup thing.
Yep.
I figure if I do have to hire someone, they can take that to go do a recording session.
Yeah.
And then
bring it back to you.
Bring it back.
You'll know that it's going to be a good quality recording.
Yeah, it's dependable. It's dependable.
Yeah. I gave mine to Robert Emoto of the Random Thoughts podcast because he wanted to do more mobile stuff, and he has
drinking problem?
No, condenser mics.
Oh.
He wants to do live recordings. I'm like, in coffee houses and stuff. I'm like, you can't.
Yeah, it'll pick up all the noise around him.
He's like, it's so noisy. I'm like, because you have a condenser mic, dude.
You need a directional mic like these.
Yeah, you need and I'm like, dude, you do comedy, you run shows, you need these mics anyway.
Yeah.
So buy them.
Yeah, I came this close to buying some condenser mics recently, and then I started thinking about it. I was like, I can't buy condenser mics because you do have a deeper sound quality.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't buy those until I actually have a studio. Because my dogs, I turned our spare room into a recording studio, and it functions great for these mics, like directional mics or cardioid. But our cat comes in sometimes into the room while I'm recording with my clients. Someone knocks on the door, the dogs bark. With these mics, they can't hear.
Right.
Nobody can hear that because the door's closed and I have it soundproofed or sound dampening. But with those mics, it would pick up every fucking noise in the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you're starting out, get directional mics.
Yeah. If you have any plans to go outside of your house.
Yeah. Even in your house.
And if you're a comedian doing a podcast, you need these mics for shows you're going to run in the future anyway.
If you're in a studio where the sound is completely controlled, definitely get a condenser.
Yeah, it'll sound so beautiful.
Yeah.
But anything else? Yeah.
This has been the podcasting minute.
Yeah, this. As you know, this is the beer podcast. So let me talk to you about this water you're holding.
Yes, it's a Kolsch style water.
Okay.
It's got.
It smells like cologne.
Yeah, it's got hints of aqua and a little bit of fina.
Nothing could be finer.
Yeah, a little bit of fina. So.
Yeah.
It tastes like aquafina.
Huh. Very strange. So yeah, this is your 17th year here at Art of Beer? 16th? 12th?
I don't know. How long has this been going on?
It's 7 years, I believe.
7 years? No, really?
So this is my third attending as a podcaster.
This has probably been
So it's your fourth.
Fourth, yeah. Or
I know for a fact I follow you very closely. Because you did 1 year without me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was when Hooks and Stone.
Okay.
I think that was the first year I did it. Hooks and Stone were still doing their Melody Stone and Anthony
Van Hook. Yeah.
Yeah, Van Hook. Yeah. They were doing their show still.
Yeah.
And there was the two
I'm very
of us.
sad it's gone. They were
in this room.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah, they were a great show.
Yeah.
I thought they were an improvised show, and it turned out they were completely scripted.
What?
I know. They were really good with their banter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I had them on. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had Melody on my show.
Yeah.
Before,
but she's in like Colorado now or something.
No,
or like,
she's in the Bay Area.
Is she?
Yeah,
Okay.
she went to Reno.
Oh yeah,
with her
Reno,
ex-husband,
that's what it
and then
was.
good thing that lid's on. I just would have flung water all over your H6.
I just take yours. That's what would happen.
Yeah, I would have given it to you. Yeah, she moved. That's why they ended the show. And I really liked the show. But I was going to say, I think she felt a little, when I had her on, I don't know if there was like, she didn't talk about her podcast. And then like 2 weeks later, their episode started going up. I was like, oh, you should have told me. I don't give a shit. You should have just told me. We could have talked about your podcast.
Yeah.
But
do you know what happened to Anthony? I haven't seen him around in a while.
He's at Capital Public Radio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's the
sound
engineer or something over there. He does something with Cap.
Yeah.
For those not listening in the Sacramento area, that's our Sacramento NPR affiliate.
Yes. Nick Bruner also there.
Yep.
And
which has a great show called Hey Listen. Saturday nights, I think at 9.
Yeah. One of my best friends is like, hey, can you introduce me to Nick Bruner? I'm like, this is what you want to do? This is, of all the people I know, you want to meet Nick Bruner? Nick Bruner. That's who you want to meet.
I feel like a lot of people like want to know him or meet him. He's a cool guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
You know, he wears leather wristbands, and he holds his wine at the bottom of the cup.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah, so it doesn't warm up the stem.
That's the way to do it, I guess.
Oh, you're a Nick Bruner fan, huh?
I am pro Nick Bruner holding wine by the stem.
Oh, he's a monster.
He's a monster. He's a dandy.
Yeah.
He's a fancy lad.
Yeah, very I remember, this is, we're just doing a podcast hour. John Ross of Stab fame and Stab Comedy Theater. Check it out on Broadway. Down the street from New Helvetia Brewing. Bringing it around to beer.
He had a great cartoon I wish he'd bring back called Dead Mom.
Right, because his mom died.
Is that why he started it?
Probably.
That cartoon was fucking hilarious. I wish he'd bring it back.
He had a short-lived podcast called The Dark Off.
The Dark Off? D-A-R-K?
Yeah.
O-F-F?
Yeah, where he would bring two people who like have public speaking experience to tell stories that were dark in nature. And he would tell 3 stories, one of which had to have some level of not true.
Oh.
So it could be a massive false thing. It could be entirely false. It could be like one small lie. But everything else would be true. And the audience would have to vote like what I think was wrong in this. And so the first episode was Nick Bruner and Kyle Bowen from Chico. He's now deceased, but he is a like when people die and he like embalms them and all that stuff.
Oh, he's a mortician?
Mortician, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Since passed. But
the mortician has since passed.
Yes, the mortician has since passed. So he's a mortician telling stories, dark stories. The Nick Bruner, a very delightful gentleman from Michigan or wherever he's from, the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in the Midwest. Very knowledgeable about music.
Yeah, very friendly, wine knowledgeable. So this guy's telling horrible stories about like his family and like his daughter and like the people he's had to like do autopsies on.
Yeah.
And then Nick's like, one time I didn't get picked for basketball.
He's like, sorry guys.
My lie was I played soccer.
I've lived a very charmed life.
Yeah, that episode I think aired. And then the next episode was me v. Johnny Taylor.
Ooh, that's some dark.
Which is another dead mom,
and dad.
Yeah, dead mom and dad. Yeah. And like I've had some stuff.
And triple, quadruple divorce.
Yeah. So, and I've had some stuff going on in my life, from back when I was younger, And so, I don't know where John thought this was a good idea, but he's like, oh, that was a lot darker than I had ever planned this show to ever be. Because I knew I was going up against Johnny, I knew what Johnny's history was. So I'm like, I gotta try to one-up Johnny. Like, I gotta dig deep in my history, like the most traumatizing things in my life. And so, because I knew he was going to bring his A game. He's Johnny. He's going to win,
Yeah.
And so John's like, I can't release this. This is so depressing, Like, it's so dark.
I'm like, the lost episode?
Yeah. And then, so I made it 1 episode and one recording where he's like, I can't.
That's it?
Yeah, he made it 2 recordings.
No way. You should have... What I would have done is record 4 or 5 of them and then save that really super dark one for them somewhere towards the end and then and then you could go back into a little lighter, dark stuff.
Yeah. But I still bother him. Like, do you still have that recording? Because I felt like I told that story better on stage than I've ever told it. And I feel like it's like a really good, for instance, when I did your storyteller podcast, the Anecdotalist, when I was in the garage with D. Tyler and Howard Bear, when I had that story about my uncle.
Yeah, that was really good.
I would like that audio. I don't care how awful it sounds.
It's bad. Yeah, for some reason the audio is not really good.
I still want that
almost
recording.
Every single one of those that I recorded, either in the garage or at the B Street Theater. I love the B Street Theater, but they would rush me. Be like, you got to go set up it, and I wouldn't have time to like check the mics or anything. I'd be like, well, I think this is good.
Yeah,
I hope it is, and it was terrible, and it was just like this constant buzzing sound through the whole, almost every single one of them. I think the only one I saved was
me, Becky, and Mike.
Yeah, that one.
Where I didn't tell a single story. I didn't make it through a single story that entire episode. Yeah.
Yeah, with the...
But I did get some sweet burns.
Liberal bitch or whatever.
Yeah.
and then the one I did, I think, with Corky McDonald. I think that one.
Yeah, that one, which I enjoyed. Corky's great.
And then, it's funny. What's that kid's name? Artie Lang likes him from here.
Oh, Parker Newman.
Yeah, Parker. The story about... this is the one I really wish had been... Like, the audio would have been okay. Was the story of him losing his virginity and just how fucking awkward it was for all of us on stage and the audience. And afterwards, he was like, can you, he's like, that was all ad-libbed. Can you send me the audio? And I was like, sure. Yeah, no problem. Cause he's like, I can make that into a routine. It was the most awkward fucking story I've ever sat through.
And also, by the way, he does that bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want that because I feel like I can make the Uncle Bruce stories a bit also, but it was so long. It was such a it was like a 20-minute story.
He was a sea captain, or what was his deal?
He's a commercial fisherman that I worked with one-on-one.
I'll look for the audio. I'll send it to you
because I want. I'm like, I feel like there's like things I can pull out to make it like a good joke.
Yeah,
you know, because it's a lot.
Yeah, but Parker's bit was so fucking
because he goes up to like Reading or whatever, right? Like he drives a long way for it
to go get his first time he got laid.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I just remember it was like cringeworthy.
Yeah.
And he was much heavier back then too. It was just the perfect storm.
Yeah,
it was glorious.
Yeah,
so, we love you, Parker, and all your awkwardness.
I wouldn't go that far.
No.
I like this because like he's going to hear this and be really mad that I didn't just co-sign. I only didn't co-sign because I know he's going to be mad I didn't co-sign. They have a new podcast. Him and Drew Absher.
Fill My Heart.
Yeah, where they review
it's
Dr.
pretty
Phil
good
episodes. It's actually
pretty good. Yeah,
they kind of break them down and like get into their own little traumas.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, I refused to follow them because their Instagram was Dr. Phil Disciples, spelled all kinds of wrong. Like real wrong, and I like messaged
like if someone knocked all the letters off the fridge.
Yeah,
the magnetic letters.
Like DECIPELS or some garbage. I'm like, I'd love to follow your podcast, but it's so disastrously wrong. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And then like Drew's like, oh, that was my mistake. And I thought it would be fixed. And I checked it. Like a week later, it was still wrong. I'm like, hey, man, like really, it's still wrong. Like it's a quick Google search. I don't understand why you can't just type disciples and see what comes.
That's back. Like when you see someone with a license plate and they think they're being witty, and it takes you like if you're lucky, you're following them for a little while, and you're like, what the fuck is your dumb fucking license plate? If I can't get it, or if it's not super witty, and it takes me a little while to get it, fuck you. Go just. Turn that thing in. Go get the regular license.
I think my favorite one I ever saw. It's not really my favorite one. I've seen so many great ones, but one I saw recently that was like didn't make any sense was GTHM KGT.
Wait, what was it again?
Gotham Knight, but it's not. It's Gotham Kicked. There's nothing that would say that's Gotham Knight other than your If you didn't have a Batman license
if you didn't
plate,
have giveaway.
I would have no idea. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is it? I remember my favorite one is HDTWTK.
Twerk? Was it?
HDTWTK. It was a pickup.
Twit.
And I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, I don't understand this. And so what I came up with for what this could possibly mean was had 2 whales to kill. That's the only thing that made sense.
So I had a friend who had
it turned out a Harley Davidson tow truck.
Was it on a tow truck?
No, it was a pickup.
Oh, God damn it.
And he's like, that's where I put my Harleys
Would you have
in.
to like pull up and ask him?
No. I posted it online, and then my friend Carl's like, I got it. It's Harley Davidson HD, TW tow, TK truck. Which,
you don't know
fuck
that's for
you.
Sure.
I guarantee he's
guess,
right. I guarantee he's right, but I'm mad about it because had 2 whales to kill is a way better.
Had 2 whales to kill, yeah. So my buddy had a pickup truck, and we were in our early 20s at the time, and we'd play hacky sack all the goddamn time on the beach. And and Skip, my buddy who owned the truck, was like, he was the Wayne Gretzky, the Michael Jordan of hacky sacking. The guy could do all sorts of shit, like way beyond what anybody else could do. He's one of those guys that was just naturally athletically gifted. And so we got a license plate that said FTBAGGN. FT space.
Footbagging.
Yeah. So I borrowed his truck one time, and I come out and I went to the bank, got some money or something. I'm coming out, and this lady is standing next to the truck, just this scowl on her face, looking around. And I'm walking towards the truck. And she's like, "Is this your truck?" And I was like, I go, "Well, it's my buddy's, but I drove it. Why?" And she's like, "What is going on with this license plate?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "What is this? What is this? Some sort of like joke? Like some sort of? Or you think you're being funny?" I was like, "It says foot bagging. Foot bagging, like hacky sack." So, and then she's like, "Are you?" I was like, "Yeah, it's foot bagging, hacky sack. My buddy owns the truck, loves to play hacky sack. He's really good at it." She's like, "Oh, okay," and walks away. And as she's walking away, I was like, "Oh, she thinks it means like fat bagging." And
hold on, let me just children who are listening to a beer podcast, turn away. Did you think it was like fuck the butt again?
Fuck the butt again.
FTB again.
I like the way you decipher her license plate.
I'm not good at them. I'm not.
Do you want to fuck the butt again?
I'm not good at. I'm not. Oh goodness! All right.
Somebody behind us?
Oh yeah, so many people are behind us. It's very popular. Once you get in here, they're
people are. It's a fishbowl.
Yeah, they're like, whoa.
That's why I'm glad my back is to the.
Yeah, that's why I put you there.
Yeah.
Johnny Flores, thank you so much for coming on.
Ben Rice, thank you for having me on the show.
How can people find Flores Podcasting Consulting?
That's it. Just FloresPodcastConsulting.com. Yep. Or just type in Sacramento Podcast Consulting. I don't know.
Serious Talk Seriously?
They can type that into it. Won't take you to the Flores Podcast Consulting.
Right. There's plenty of ways to do it.
But if you want to listen to the show, STSpodcast.com.
And follow it at Serious Talk Johnny?
No, I don't. No,
Serious Talk Twit?
Yeah, on Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
I have it, but I don't really use it.
Yeah.
It's such a shitstorm of ugliness that I just don't have any reason to go on it anymore.
I get that.
So, Instagram, it's senior_Ewok.
Oh, yes.
It's supposed to be senior Ewok, but Instagram's racist and won't let you do it, yeah. So fuck you, Instagram.
Till day I die.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Johnny Flores, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it. I'm going right now.
This episode of Barley Me is brought to you by other things the host Ben Rice does besides Barley and Me, namely comedy shows at breweries in the Sacramento region. Just so you guys are aware, the final Thursday of every month, November through March, is a comedy show at Crooked Lane Brewing in Auburn. $10 tickets featuring national headliners, regionals, feature acts, and local hosts. You can buy those tickets at the brewery or give them a call and purchase them. $10 the last Thursday of every month, November through March. And I also run a free show the fourth Thursday of every month at Tilted Nash Brewing in Elk Grove, featuring regional acts, San Francisco, the 209, Los Angeles, Sacramento, obviously, Northern California, people that drop in from across the country. Totally fun show, totally free there. The fourth Thursday. And we'll also be starting up the every second Monday industrial strength comedy at Old Republic Brewing in Rancho Cordova. So if you guys find the time and the cash, come on out and support some live comedy. I host a lot of them, but not all of them. So you'll see a variety of comics, some of whom have, Netflix credits, HBO credits, fun stuff like that. So if you find the time, come on out. We'd love to see you. And now back to the show. Welcome back to Barley and Me. We're still at the Art of Beer. I'm your host, Ben Rice. We're back here with Nick Vellanoweth of Nitty Brewing, or Nitty Cidery?
Nitty Cider.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no, actually, technically, my LLC is River Road Cider Works. So,
how does that work?
Well, you file, and you have to file with the state and the feds, and then your DBA is a whole different ballgame.
Right.
So, since I'm located on River Road in Clarksburg, it made more sense to be River Road Cider Works. But there's also a winery, I believe, in Sebastopol called River Road Vineyards. So we fall under the same license. I'm not going to make a River Road cider
because
cider
falls on the same rules and regulations as wine.
Yeah, so they couldn't come after me and say we had the name first.
Right.
That's fine, but the LLC, it's mine.
And as we all know, you're known as Master Nitty.
Correct.
So you're just like, let's drop that master.
Yeah.
Because, first of all,
let's grab the master and let's just run with Nitty.
Yeah. And you already got some stuff out and about.
I do, actually. I've released a few ciders right now. My first release was a cherry raspberry. It's called Oh Joy Begin, and there are two meanings behind it. First meaning is it's the first release of the cider that I've made, so it's the beginning of Nitty's, and then it's
that's
also
a very good joy for you.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm finally getting my name out there, and it's also a reference to a Dave Matthews song.
What?
Yeah. No, I'm trying to.
Is it a deep cut, or am I just like way behind?
No,
Dave Matthews
it's from the release out his newest album.
So no one cares anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So if anyone cares, it's Samurai Cop (parentheses Oh Joy Begin).
That's a lot.
I know. That's why it's Oh Joy Begin. I know. No,
although Samurai Cop is a great name for a cider.
But have you seen that movie?
No.
It's a B-rated movie, and it's god-awful.
Who's in it?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, it's Samurai Cop.
It's Samurai Cop.
You were expecting some big names?
Yeah, like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
That's who I thought would be a Samurai Cop.
I mean, he's
back in the 80s. You're damn right.
Yeah. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. It
was called The Last Samurai Cop.
It was the whole cast of The Outsiders, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was the sequel. Huh?
Yeah. I feel like you should make later Samurai Cop.
I will make the Samurai Cop. Because I actually had some Dave heads who made comments on it say, why not Samurai Cop? And it's like, why not?
It's a lot. It's not very descriptive.
No.
Oh Joy Begin.
There's meaning behind that one.
Yeah, it's your first release.
Yeah.
You're very happy about it, and for some reason you still like Dave Matthews in 2019.
I still do. He still tickles my twat. What can I say?
I mean, that's your right as a consumer. That's your right as an American. You're wrong, but that's fine.
Yeah. That's totally fine. Speaking of, so what I'm trying to do with all my cider names, I'm trying to reference some certain song lyric. It doesn't matter what it's from. But I went out of the norm, and I actually referenced a movie quote for my Mandarin Peel cider, and it's called Tearing Me Apart.
Okay.
So when I tell people Tearing Me Apart, they're thinking NSYNC, and it's actually not NSYNC. It's from the movie The Room.
Okay.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, You're Tearing Me Apart, Lisa.
Yes, Thank you. Yeah. So when I tell...
Do you have the remix? Like the song?
Yo, that's beautiful.
Tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh, it's amazing.
Me apart.
Whoever put that together,
yeah.
I want to shake their hand and say thank you, because that was the greatest 2.5 minutes of my life.
I still The Room is a phenomenon. Have you seen The Disaster Artist?
Yes.
Funniest movie I've seen in theaters in years.
It's a great movie. But did you see the very end after the credits?
I'm sure I stuck around for it.
Where James Franco is talking to Tommy Wiseau, and it's one of the best scenes because Tommy Wiseau is at the party. He says hey, who are you? And James Franco says, yeah, my name's Tommy. It's who are you? He's Tommy with a shut the fuck up. It's like, I don't give a shit who you are. It's like, go away. And it's just, it was the only scene that Tommy Wiseau had in the room. And it's the end credits, and it's James Franco telling him to shut the fuck up and go away.
So good. And we're joined by Duncan Alexander of Burning Barrel Brewing. This is how we do it at Art of Beer.
I love it.
Hi, Ben.
Hop on the mic. I was doing it. I'm very sorry for the earlier episodes where I only kept 2 mics on because I only had 2 people. And I'm like, wait, why don't I just keep mics on so people can walk in and just, hey, I'm going to be here now.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you, and you're just an attractive guy. I had to swing in the room.
I'm getting a lot of eyeballs on me. I feel like I should bring a poster next time, like just to promote.
That'd be great.
I think every time I've walked by, I've just grabbed my nipples and looked at you in the eye.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that I'm doing this shirtless, which everybody knows. If you haven't seen me, Adonis.
I've seen you. I've seen pictures of it, and I wonder how you are not single. Just gonna say that.
It's just crazy.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you not live this bachelor life?
I lived through the deja vu picture.
Yeah.
Every time I drive by there, because the brewery is only a half a mile away from that place, I just picture you in the bikini.
Yeah.
Yes, the bikini. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then you, Nick, you do the
skee ball.
Skee ball with one of my friends who I used
summer.
Yeah, and I used to do pool parties, and I've definitely worn bikinis in that pool.
I had no idea you knew her until I got a notification on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I finally looked at it. I was like, well, this is just small world.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how small Sacramento really is when you actually connect the dots and everyone knows everybody.
I told, I'm probably going to cut this part because it's mildly racist, but we used to do Christmas parties. And one year we decided we would really get in depth on people's ethnicity background and then come up with like terrible names for each other based on those ethnicities. And I think I nailed the name for Summer because she's Japanese and Jewish.
Oh, okay. We were trying to figure that one out because no one has ever really asked her at skee ball. One of the rollers thinks she's Russian.
Right. No, she's Japanese and Jewish.
Okay.
So I gave her the name Juniper.
Juniper?
Yeah.
With a hyphen.
I don't know if you... Nips is the slur
Nips.
for Japanese people.
Yes, it is. I learned that one at a young age.
As terrible as it is, I mean, if you're going to go, hey, we're going to be the most racist we could possibly be based on your ethnicity, I think I rocked it.
Yeah, I think you really did.
Is that crickets or applause at a stand-up show, Ben?
It's mostly cricket.
Because that one's
like most of the stuff.
You have to actually know your history on that one because Nips.
Nippon.
First off, if you don't understand that nip is a racist comment towards Japanese people, it goes over your head.
Nobody gets it.
Because
I didn't get it at first.
I didn't know about that until I was, I think, 12 or 14.
Yeah,
and
you got to be real steeped in racism.
My mom explained that to me. I think one day I made a comment and my mom said, "You never say that." I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" She says, "That's a racist comment." And I said, "Well, what?" Because my grandpa, he fought in World War II, and
that's what you referred to him as.
That's what they referred to the Japanese people as nips. And I said, "Oh, okay, so I'll never call a Japanese person a nip."
Right.
And one of my best friends growing up, he is half Japanese, and I called him a nip, went over his head.
Right. Because it's an old-timey racism.
It really went over his head. He's like, "I don't get this. I don't understand why it's racist." I was like, and you're...
It's like well, see, because Nippon was a very large city in Japan, and then we couldn't tell them apart from the cities and the country. And that's how racism works. We don't know. And so they're all the same.
It's like, sorry?
Like my favorite story about racism and how it's stupid. Because I want to be very clear, racism is terrible and stupid. I remember I was in... Confirmation. I was in a confirmation class in North Dakota, and my class, it was all students my age, and they're all super racist as North Dakota, where there's no culture.
I was going to say, what's in North Dakota?
Yeah, nothing.
Fargo.
Nothing. Fargo is in North Dakota, and that movie takes place in Minnesota, so it doesn't even count.
I know,
It's so stupid. But there's nothing, and they have no cultural awareness, and so they would constantly be making like racist comments, like in conversation. My parents were like, "You can't say that. Like that's racist. You can't." And every time, he'd try to get the class back on track, and he couldn't do it. And they called this person who worked at a convenience store like 30 miles away. They called her Sweaty Betty.
She sounds cute.
She was an African-American female who works at a convenience store near an Air Force base.
All right.
And she's like, she's so dumb because she doesn't know. I don't even remember. Who cares? Because they're racist assholes. And it probably was nothing. It was probably like, she doesn't know my name. That's probably that what it was. Anyway, and so my pastor's like, well, you don't talk that way about your classmate Brady, but he's black. So what's that? They're like, well, we know him. And that is
it
racism.
It totally makes sense. It's like, I know him. It's okay.
That's how stupid racism is. It's like, how do you fight it? Knowledge of a person. That's all, and then it's done. Like, it's the dumbest fucking thing.
Yeah.
This is fun. We're doing beer. This is about beer.
Yeah, beer, right?
And cider.
Yeah, there was beer involved in that
drinking
conversation.
This average Burning Barrel beer right now.
Yeah. What do you got though?
This is the end. The double hazy. I don't know. My palate's been crushed by incredible adjuncts from 50/50 stouts and.
Ooh, which one do you have?
I had them all.
Okay.
I was just sitting there, and he walked me through all of them, and I was like, "This is awesome," but I can't taste anything.
Well, how do you feel after drinking all the 50/50 beers? Because those are big beers.
I feel warm inside. I feel a little full, but the beers are really good. All those guys are super nice, and I don't know. I've actually, to be honest, have never had one before tonight.
Oh, okay.
So I've never had a 50/50 beer before.
But you understand the hype behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I was living in San Diego, I used to go to the bottle shops, and they'd have all the different bottles lined up based on the color and the barrels. I was like, that looks cool, but I'm not going to spend $30 on a bottle.
No, now 45.
Yeah,
Is it that high now?
Sometimes depends where you get it.
I know. But I had their other beers, the non-barrel aged stuff, and it was just solid beer too.
Yeah, they're still good. Have you been to their brewery?
I've never been, but yeah, it looks like we just walked up.
Go do a road trip right now because it's snowing, so it'd be.
I know, I'm a big snowboarder too. Yeah. So yeah, we just locked up a collab with him.
Like,
too,
oh no,
so.
I'm stuck.
I'm stuck in Truckee. What a terrible life to live.
One of my old buddies used to brew for Alibi. He came over from a.
Oh yeah. They're also in Truckee, right?
They're from Truckee. My old buddy who I met at the Siebel Technology Institute, doing a brewery course with, went out and to do consulting for the Olympics in Sochi, Russia. He was working for the park at North Star Tahoe, and he got hired on to design the slopestyle course for the snowboarders in the Olympics. Met some guys out there and ended up becoming the head brewer at Sochi Brew Pub for 3 years. Came back, did the master's brewer program at Siebel, and now he's brewing at a brewery in Ukraine, looking to open up his own brewery in Lithuania, who his great-grandfather was in a schoolhouse from like 115 years ago in the same building.
That's awesome.
That's
crazy story.
That's like a giant, full circle almost.
He sent me a picture of it, and it's like horse stables downstairs, schoolyard upstairs. And he's like, I'm going to do a brewery downstairs and a bar upstairs. Town of like 300 people in the middle of Lithuania, middle of nowhere. And he's like, I'm doing it.
So he's going to get the town really drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to really populate that
I'm going to visit him and just get wasted in his schoolyard brewery. It's going to be awesome.
I hope there's some farmhouses in there.
Yeah.
Ales.
He's doing everything, man. He brought like the modern West Coast IPAs to Russia beer, essentially, because he worked for Alibi, did a lot of their modern IPAs, and then we're in a text group chat, and we've been talking about all the recipes he's doing out there, and all the concepts he's talking to with the owners. They're like astonished by these styles that people in California are brewing, but should be pretty cool.
That's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a trip to Lithuania. We're going to do it.
When he opens up, we'll take a trip out there and do a podcast at his brewery.
Yeah. Go international, baby. Great American Beer Festival, whatever. I'm going to Lithuania.
Eastern European Great Festival.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The World Beer Cup. Is that a thing? Oh, it is a thing?
Oh, it is a thing, yeah.
We're going to make it better.
So I've heard. I heard it's out there.
Yeah. How do you even get away with that? The World Cup's probably got all kinds of rights to that. They're like, we won't fight it. Pretty much.
See what international trademarks they have, though.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm down to hire a lawyer for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
He's not good, but...
I mean, it's better than what I can afford. That's for sure. So, Nick, we kind of got sidetracked on your grand opening.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
Of Nitty Cider.
I'll be back, but sorry.
That's fine, bud. So, yeah, no, so I have a place in Clarksburg, which is, for those who don't know where Clarksburg is, because I find out a lot of people don't know, it's just south of Sacramento in Yolo County, and it's a wine community. So you see a lot of wineries out there. That's it, and I'm going to be the first cidery actually in Clarksburg, and the town itself. They're excited to have me, and I'm excited to be there. It's just I have a lot of red tape to go through first.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to cut through that, and hopefully in the next few months we're going to be up and running. And when we are, it's, we're going to be open, and just I'm banging on the traffic coming from I-80 cutting across the I-5 to come by and have a quick pint and relax before they have to go back and sit in traffic.
Yeah, because it's a little bit below South Sac on the 5, right?
Yeah, it is. It's so the Cosumnes River, it's Cosumnes River exit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's just the next exit after Pocket. You would take that to get into the Delta, and you just cut across the Freeport Bridge, and then you're in Clarksburg. And it's a great little town. I love going there. Hussicks, they're here tonight as well. They're part of New Glory's booth. They're serving their food. Hussicks is what Josh did over there. He revamped it. He made it a smokehouse, a tap house. He really brought the whole place to life, and the whole community's coming down. It's great what he's doing there, and he has me on tap as well, and he loves what I'm making. And I thank him for actually putting me on tap, because he doesn't know who I am, but he knows who I am, but he knows that you're a new cider company, and how are you going to be different? But he knows that I'm not just some Joe Schmo who just decided to, hey, here I am, I made a cider, put me on tap. He knows I have, over 11 years experience in making cider.
Right. I remember the first time I saw it on tap, I'm like, did somebody steal this guy's fucking name to make a... Oh, it is him. It is him. It's fine.
I remember you sent me that message. I was like, yeah, that's me. What's up? You're like,
oh, okay.
No, I was like, no, I just want to let you know. And it was, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Just got to make sure there's not some jerk out there trying to steal your thunder.
Yeah, no, that's one of the biggest things when it comes to names. You actually have to do a lot of research to figure out who has what name out there, and if you think you're creative, guess what? Someone came up with it. So you actually have to come up with a name that no one else has. Just name it after yourself. No one's going to name it after themselves. Who does that? Who's that egotistical to name their own company after themselves?
What kind of jerk names it after their own nickname?
How would
everyone?
Really? No, because you look at a lot of the companies that have started from the 80s, 90s. That's fine. No one's making beer or cider. We'll say that. But when you start growing and everything's become more popular, all these catchphrases like, how I mentioned with tearing me apart, someone's probably come up with something like that as well. I did my homework, didn't see it, but if someone did that, oh well, we'll duke it out later. But you have to be creative with every single name you pop out there. You just can't name some cider or some beer that you made like it's a beer. Someone does that. It's, hey, let's just name it after some random phrase that no one else is doing.
Yeah.
Because you can name something, people have it, so we have to be creative with all this. And I went to some conference I think 4 years ago in Santa Rosa, and that was one of the big things that talked about was how do you name something that no one else has. It's as if you have to create brand new names.
Yeah, because you do.
Yeah, you really have to. So you can put a lot of letters together and say that says orange when it spells like ZBGOD.
Yeah.
You have no idea what it says, but it's like, no, that says orange.
Right.
It's like in my language, that's what it says.
Yeah. It's nuts. And the importance of a name in how a beverage sells is crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, I've known people who buy certain beers because of the name of what it says. And if you look back at what Stone Brewery, when they did Arrogant Bastard.
How do you not drink that?
Exactly.
How do you not drink that?
The name alone, you want to buy it. And the bottle, the artwork on the bottle, you want to buy it. Is it a good beer? Is it a bad beer? It doesn't matter. You want to buy it.
and on the back it has a description of what the beer is, and it's just like, this isn't for pussies. Like, you're like, I'm not a pussy.
It's like, it's a giant paragraph. I'm reading no, it's not a paragraph. It's a novel.
It's a novel.
You're just like, oh my God, I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's like,
what?
This describes me to a T. It does not.
Yeah.
But,
where's the sequel? I have to buy the sequel on this one.
Like, we got you, double bastard.
They got me good. I'm not gonna lie. I went and bought the what is that? The Magnum bottle they had. I bought the Magnum bottle off that one because I was determined to prove to them I'm not a pussy.
Yeah.
Like, no, they got me.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Like, oak age bastard, double bastard. Have you had the Lucky Bastard?
No, I have
Basarded?
Oh, I gotta try that one now.
Oh my God. It's their regular bastard, double bastard, oak age bastard, and one other thing mixed together. And like, you can say what you want about arrogant bastard in the beer scene in 2019. Lucky Bastard, which is spelled all kinds of mixed up. It's like LUYKC or whatever it is they're doing. They just
As
mix
it's
letters
supposed
up.
to be.
It's one of the best beers. You should absolutely 100% drink it.
Yeah, no, I will definitely try that one. If I see it, I will try it. I'm not opposed to it. I have a lot of stone beer. I love what they do, and I love how creative they get. And that's what that's the whole thing about this industry is being creative. It's trying to draw attention to yourself where people will come out and buy it. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You want people to come and try everything and anything you're making.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I'll come out with some random ciders because I have to. How else will you get people to try cider?
Yeah.
It's one of my next releases is going to be an avocado cider. I've done this before. It's really fun to make. It's messy, but it throws people off. And the thing is, avocado is a fruit, so I'm allowed to make this.
Right.
Yeah,
flavor, body, just everything about what sliminess.
So
mouth feel.
You got to understand, there's really no flavor in avocado.
Right.
There is no flavor. So
what are you pulling?
So what you're doing is you're making a guacamole. You're making a guacamole cider. That's all I'm making. I'm not going to add tomatoes or anything, but
so what are you doing?
I add avocados. I've added lime, cilantro. I will kick back the cilantro because people have made comments that cilantro tastes like soap. So.
Which is an off flavor.
Yeah, so I either go heavy board on cilantro or just don't add cilantro. But you make a guacamole, that's all it is. And like there are other breweries out there who've made an avocado beer. I want to say Angel City made an avocado kolsch. I'm not too sure if it's them or not, but I've seen it. But I've made the avocado cider before in the past, and it actually does really well because people see it and they draw to it. They want to taste. What does this avocado taste like?
Yeah. And you're like, nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I can make you a bland flavor cider, and guess what? It's going to taste like a cider. I fooled you. It just looks green and creamy. You like cream? Guess what? It likes you. It's a great cider when you add a little bit more spice to it, a little flavor. Okay. Because when you drink it, when I did the avocado lime the first time, people tasted it and like, wow, this is really good. It tastes like a guacamole. Well, yeah, of course. Have you had an avocado plain? There's no flavor. Of course it's going to taste this way. So I try to add a little something to it so they can relate.
Yeah.
And they know what they're drinking, so they can say, hey, yeah, I ate this with a chip or something.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this. I had a great time eating this, and oh my God, you just rocked my world.
Now, so my girlfriend hates avocados, hates the mouthfeel, hates everything about them. Do you think that if I gave her chips, salsa, and an avocado cider, she'd be like on board?
I think if you gave her chips, and as she's drinking it and eating the chips, she'll be fine. The salsa, that's another hard sell. That one's really hard to sell on that one.
Okay, so you think it's just
you need chips. The salsa, because if you add salsa in
avocado cider,
it'll work.
Salsa.
It will work.
Okay.
And I promise you it worked because you can tell them it's not avocado and they will play dumb.
Right.
It's like, yeah, this is good. What's in it? Just say lime juice. Oh, yeah, it's green, of course. And they're like, taste closer. You feel that cream? You feel that fat? Avocado.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah, no, it's all on perception. It's what you see. If you see something that you want to like, you're going to like it.
Yeah. And like, how do you look at that and go, not interested?
Well, a lot of people will say they're not interested because of how thick it looks, because cider's not supposed to look thick and creamy.
Yeah. But I'm saying if you're looking at a tap, like a tap list,
no.
and you see avocado cider.
No, it's also with the name. Like going back to the whole naming things. So my avocado cider, I call it alligator pie. And the reason why it's an alligator pie is because an alligator pear is slang for avocado.
Okay.
Also, alligator pie is a song reference. So we're going back to my whole song reference. But with the whole alligator pie, you have it's apple, it's lime, it's avocado. It is a pie all in one. So I'm presenting you this pie. And when you try it, you have no idea it's an avocado. And you're thinking like, oh, this is really good and creamy. What's the creamy part? Avocado. And
like
people are like, what? No, that can't be right.
Like, it's right.
No, it's right. Trust me.
It's a little bit wrong, but it's very
right. It may be wrong, but it's right.
All right, Nick. So where can people find Nitty Cider?
Well, right
in
now
the world,
you can find
on
me
the internet.
You can find me on my website, nittycider.com. But with cider location specifically, I'm on tap at Urban Roots. I'm on tap at Elixir. So sorry. Yeah, no, Urban Roots, Elixir, Dad's Kitchen rotates me in. Hussix down in Clarksburg has me. There's a new tap house up in Loomis called Gander Tap House. They have my Mandarin Peel on tap. There's some other locations that will be putting me on tap, like Sackyard, Capital Hop Shop. They want to rotate me in. And it's just a matter of time of me just texting them. That's all it is. I just got to be, play the cards right. I will be out there. You will see my name more and more, and you will see some random ciders, and you're going to ask yourself, what the hell are you thinking? I have to try this.
Yeah.
So also...
continuing a long tradition of Nick Vellanoweth ciders.
Yes, that's all it is. Also, back in the winter, I released a peppermint cider.
Yeah.
And that one was just amazing. And Dad's Kitchen actually took it, and they said, we're going to roll the dice. We trust you, but we don't think it's going to sell. I got a message immediately. He said, holy shit, this is amazing. And the thing is, I'm not going to release a cider that I don't think is good. If it's bad, I'm not going to release it. If it's good and I think it's good, I will release it. If I think it's bad and I know the public's going to like it, maybe.
Yeah.
But still, I refuse to send bad cider out there. I want people to enjoy the weird stuff and the good stuff all in one.
I guess I should ask one question just because I'm a professional interviewer. I'm here to get the information for the people who want to know the information. Where are you getting your apples?
Currently, right now, they're from Washington. And then once harvest starts again, it's California apples.
Perfect. All right.
So, it's all on harvest. That's all it is.
Nick, thanks so much for popping on, man. I appreciate it.
I love talking to you, man.